Okay, so I had some people asking me how to make the reusable face masks, this kind right here. These are a double-sided pleated reusable mask that you can put a filter into, and they're great for, well, staying safe. They do not keep you away from the virus though, so just know that. It's a face mask. They work like this. You put it on. This one's a little small for me. You can open up the pleats, and it just becomes a face mask. You can put some kind of filter in there, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit. This one fits my wife perfectly, but it's a little small for me, so you can make them different sizes. So here's what you need to make those. You need some fabric, and you need, well, you don't need, but twisty ties are handy. If you don't have those, you could use pipe cleaners or something else that's similar. If you can find elastic at Walmart or anywhere, which is a big no right now, if you can find elastic somewhere, 1/4 inch elastic is good. If you can find that little thin elastic that's even smaller, that's better. And if you can't find elastic at all, you could just make it so that cut off an extra piece of fabric and do a fabric tie on. That would be fine as well. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's a very forgiving pattern, so you don't have to be exact, but I'm going to walk you right through the process. Probably about 15 minutes is what we're in for here for that. So I made up a little template. It's 8 inches by 16 inches. And I just made that up, and you don't even have to use it if you don't want. So then I came over here, and I have a piece of fabric that I've folded in half just so I can do 2 of them at a time. And what you do is you just line it up. And I started cutting it already, and then I decided to make a video. You line it up, you cut out the fabric, and again, I'm doing this live, so stupid things might happen. So about 16 by about 8. You'll see it's forgiving. So there's my 16. Just kind of cut that down a little bit at the end there to make my 8. And what I was saying about the making fabric ends is you could take a long strip of this, and instead of elastic, you could make that in the way that you make it so it can wrap around your head. So now I'm going to cut this in half to make 2 of these. So all I've done so far was I've made an 8 by 16 piece of fabric. That's all I've done. Not so hard. Next, you're going to take and fold up one of the ends here. Excuse me. You're going to take this and just fold it up. How far? Like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, something like that. Again, super forgiving. Iron it down. Turn it on the other side, do the same thing. Iron it down. I see I got a little sloppy on my end here, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, now what you do for the insides here is you're going to just double fold it, and this is why the exactness doesn't matter so much, because you're just folding it into square anyway. So you just fold this down, iron it so that it lays flat. Flip it again because we're going to double up on its strength, and iron it flat. Now on the other side is where you use the twisty ties. I've been using 2 of them just to give it a little extra, and I have the long ones. These came out of just like garbage bags or something. They came out of my junk drawer. If you don't have twisty ties, paper or pipe cleaners would work great too. So you take a twisty ties and you just wrap them in there, fold it down, iron it. Now the twisty's stuck in there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip it again. Now I'm going to do my first sewing. I'm actually going to sew this in. So I'm going to come over to my sewing machine. I flipped it over so I'm on the good side. Thanks for the sewing machine, Mom. All right. So I'm just going to go in here and just do a straight sew. And cut off the extra. I'll clean up my ends later here, but that's now the twisty tie is sewn in there. Okay, here comes the next part. So now we've got a nice square that's been double folded with a twisty tie. So next thing is I've got the twisty tie forward. I'm going to just fold this in half. And see that? I mean, even as sloppy as I was, that makes a really nice, almost perfect square. So I'm just gonna iron this out. And now I'm gonna create pleats. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna grab the front, my twisty side's out front. I'm grabbing the front and just kind of fold it down. Now I wanna make 3 pleats. Just kind of keep it even. And I've just been sticking 1 needle in the middle here, just to hold it down. So there's 1. I'm gonna do it again. Hold it down. And then you do a 3rd one. So you end up with something that looks a little bit like that. And you notice I didn't measure anything. I've hardly measured anything here, except for I started with about an 8x16. And this is the nice thing about this pattern, is it's super forgiving. So if you're new at this, like I am, I didn't know how to do this till this morning. And then I'm just ironing it down so that it stays still when I sew it up. Next, you're gonna need some ties for the side. What I did was I took my little 8-inch piece of paper here again, and I measured 8 inches. You can do it a little longer, a little shorter. The one that I had on earlier was about 7.5, so that was a little short for me. So that's 8 inches right there. Take that, fold it in half. Get my scissors, and I need 2 of these, so I'm just going to cut 2 pieces here. So now I have 2 8-inch straps. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to take and go inside here. This is the twisty side. This is the front side. I have just been sticking it inside a little ways, maybe just far enough that when you sew it, it's going to stay. Stick it in there and then stick it in the bottom here somewhere. So I just push that in maybe just that far. It's not in that far at all, just far enough to stay. Okay, and then what we do is go over here to our sewing machine again. Oops. Let me go to my sewing machine. Make sure the pleats are going forward. I made that mistake a couple of times when I made some of these, and then it just ruffles it up if you put it in the other way. So make sure your pleats are going that way. So I'm just going to start it out. I'm doubling it down a little bit here. It's back and forth a few times. Going right down the line. Oops. There we go. And then at the end, I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to go back and forth a few times. Lift that one up. Get rid of it. The other side. Put it right in there somewhere in the back. It doesn't matter as long as you stick it down. I want to thank my wife for videoing for me. She's sweet. Put that in there. Again, make sure your pleats are going this way so that it'll actually go in. Give yourself a little Put it down, back and forth. Flip this up. Now I can get rid of all my little ends and stuff like that, but as you can see, and whatever, I don't know how long this has been, however long this video has been, but I just made another mask in just a few minutes. They're very easy to make. Now on to what you fill them with. So obviously this one's going to stay mine now too, or maybe I'll give it to a family member. What you can fill these things with to make them a little bit better of antibacterial is, I've seen lots of stuff. You can stick a paper towel in it. What do you need? You can stick a paper towel in it. You could stick, the things that I've seen that are even better are if you take a coffee, coffee filters are good because they're a little bit more, they get rid of more particles. The best is sweeper bags because they take out a lot of the particulates. So you basically just cut a sweeper bag or whatever and make it fit into that hole, and that's what you breathe through. Now that's not the reusable part, this is the reusable part. So, and that's what you do. You can, this twisty now will conform to your nose. You know, when you put it on, you pinch it and it'll go to the size of your nose, and you can pull it and make it however you'd like. And then as far as what you do with it, of course you can wear it, you can give it away. There's a lot of people on Facebook that are looking for these. If you want to throw places that you know that are donating them into the comments, that's fine. I know of somebody that I'm donating them to right now. It's this address, I'll put it in the comments as well. But that's, sorry, shaking. That's how you make them. And they're really easy to do, and all you need is just that little video that I just made for you. So if you know anybody else that's accepting donations, or if you want to place a donation, something in the comments, go ahead and do that. And I'm sure the people that see this video will send you some, or you can send them to me and I'll figure out where to send them to. Okay? All right. Have a great one.